I'm Matthew Chablevitz, also known as DJ Zab with the NYC Metal Scene show on Metal Messiah Radio. Also owner of NYC Metal Scene, Boston Metal Scene, and Philly Metal Scene. And I'm here with Viserion. And who am I here with, guys?
I'm Ben, guitar and vocals.
Matt, drums.
Chris, guitars.
This is Tasso from bass.
So there we go. All right, we're here in Duff's in Brooklyn for the release, the big release of the split CD with Viserion and Tilak Voven. So how did it go recording the CD?
It was good. So we had a couple of these songs ready to go last year, and then we had Chris over here who wrote Fathers.
Right. Yeah, I love that song.
He had that track ready to go from the pandemic, and we just really worked on it, recorded it, and got it together. And we also luckily had some good guest vocalists come
I
in.
noticed that too, because Greg hooked me up with a CD, an advance copy at Ed at Armageddon's Barbecue, Ed from Armageddon Productions Barbecue in early July. So I was able to hear your 3 tracks. Really was digging it. Yeah. Fathers is a really killer song. And yeah, who's because the last 2 tracks, you have 3 tracks for your side, and Tilak Voven has, well, I guess 4 full tracks. Yeah. You know, because they have a couple like interludes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So how did you get a hold of the special, the featuring, you know, the special guest vocals?
Yeah, so we had, for Abandon, we had a friend of ours, Xenomorph. That's his artist name.
Right.
He's also a black metal musician, releases great stuff. So we were excited to get him on there. And then Janan is a vocalist for the band Protagony, which Tasso is in. And, you know, she fucking crushed it. So we were excited to have
it was
her
really
on
good,
that.
man.
Yeah. So they all put a lot of work into it. You know.
Now, who came up with the idea to do the split CD with Tilak Voven?
So that was actually Tasso here. I'm going to let him handle this.
Go ahead. Pass it over. Like a 40.
It was our idea, myself and Greg's, because Tilak Voven is a dragon, Viserion is a dragon, and it only made sense to have a split with 2 bands that had the same...
I got you. Nice. Okay. So there you go. So yeah, that does make sense, man. And so when you guys were writing the music, how was that coming about? Did you have these songs written for a while, or?
So Reborn in Darkness we had released last year as a single, and Abandoned we had Abandoned we actually rewrote because Abandoned was on Natural Selection.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, with the new lineup, we reapproached the song. And we made it more of we changed the lyrical theme too. It's about like it has a World War I element to it.
Oh, okay.
That it didn't have previously, and then Fathers like Chris had wrote, and we just thought that those were the 3 of the strongest songs we had.
Yeah,
so
yeah. To really showcase on the EP. Go ahead. Yeah.
I guess with Fathers we had written that.
Yeah.
Before Viserion. Yeah.
Right.
Before Viserion.
Right.
And we had written the lyrics, myself and Janan.
Gotcha.
And we brought it to Chris, and Chris was...
And what was Fathers about? What's the lyrical theme on that one?
Well, basically about the crucifixion of Jesus.
Oh, okay,
and the,
all right,
Roman
I got you.
soldier that stabbed him, and it's from his perspective.
Yeah, wow.
You know?
Damn. Yeah, that's a really I think that's the longest song on your
it is,
it's about 7, a little under 8 minutes and stuff like that. In fact, I played it Tuesday night, as a matter of fact. So so that's going to be cool, and we'll replay this interview as well on the NYC Metal Scene show. So when you guys are writing the music, who's coming up with the ideas? Like, how does the whole process start?
Well, with Fathers in particular, I wrote that during the pandemic.
Right. Okay.
I kind of wanted like a Father North, a Mother North type of feel for
right.
Like
right. Yeah.
Terracon. Kind of that vibe to it.
You know?
Yeah. I brought it to Tasso. Tasso was like, "This is amazing." He started putting lyrics together with Janan because I was actually in Protagony for some time.
Right.
But then decided to bring it to Viserion and put both bands together to do this. So that's how Fathers came about.
Nice. Okay. There you go, man. That's awesome. And so, how long you guys been together? Like
So now with this lineup, it's been over a year now, about a year and a couple months. We started in 2019 with a different lineup, and then we got together with this lineup last year, and it's been really good. So we like the split showcases our almost new approach of writing and stuff.
Right. Now you think you'll do some when you come out with a full length? You think you'll have some of these songs on there like Fathers again, or?
We're probably not. We might do maybe like an EP in between.
Right,
or
I
something
got
and
you.
put some stuff. Right now we have a good amount of stuff that we're working on.
Yeah,
so
it's tough, man.
Yeah, we might have more material than we need. So, but
Do you find it's easier, like coming out with an EP, like more often, like 3 or 4 songs, or waiting to do a whole CD? You know, like 9 songs or 10 songs. Sometimes it might be better to come out with 3 songs or something like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on certain songs we might have that might not necessarily fit on an album, but they're still good songs.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
like to do like an EP almost of like, hey, this song is, we worked hard on it and it's a good song, but it doesn't necessarily flow
Right,
with the album.
right,
so
exactly.
I think that's a good way that we approach.
Now, when
our
you're
music.
writing like a full album, are you trying to like make like a whole theme throughout the album? Because maybe that's why sometimes it's even better to come out with like an EP, 2 or 3 songs or something like that. Is that something you would think about doing or have done, or?
Yeah, I mean, we like to have a general theme,
Right, yeah.
but we don't like box ourselves in either.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
you know?
because sometimes, you come up with an idea and you're like, oh, that's great, and then it loses steam.
Right,
and
yeah.
then you find yourself, like, well, now you're forcing lyrics or you're forcing
Right, yeah,
things.
exactly.
Like, Natural Selection was, originally, we didn't even really have a theme for it in mind. It kind of just organically came about.
Right,
that we had this whole theme of decay.
Right, yeah.
So, but, we also, me and Ben, at least, we're nerdy people.
Okay.
So, we
All right.
love Game of Thrones.
Well, who knows?
Reborn in Darkness is about a character from the video game Destiny 2.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right, all right.
Destiny 1, actually.
Well,
But
Game of
anyway,
Thrones
yeah.
was an
So-
amazing show,
Yeah.
and the House of the Dragons is
Exactly.
pretty
Yeah.
pretty,
We love
pretty
that.
freaking good
But,
as well.
So we try to have a theme a little bit because you also don't want just random songs that have nothing to do with each other.
Right, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
about finding a balance.
Finding a balance. I
Yeah.
hear you, man. And you think you'll be able to do that with the next EP? Now, with this EP, so these songs are a little bit different. Each lyrical theme is different from each other. So it's
Right.
probably better on it like an EP. 'Cause
Exactly.
I find that difficult as well, like trying to, like you said, you want to box yourself in on a full album, and it's freaking hard, Like, I mean, I know some people do it, but like sometimes if you go deep and you really take a deep dive into the lyrics, sometimes you're like, well, maybe it's just better I don't know what they were saying because they're just trying to rehash something to fit like a lyrical theme. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, or if I could, I wouldn't want to embarrass the band anyway, so I'll just keep it to myself.
No, yeah. Well, definitely, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
But when we rehearse and we write songs, it's kind of like it organically just manifests itself.
Right,
in
right.
A way, so technically it just becomes a theme when you're rehearsing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like making a record. I always picture of making a record that's like it's a snapshot of how you're feeling, how your band is at that moment.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Ah,
So
that's a great
yeah.
an analogy of that, man.
Yeah, because like every album is different from the last.
Sure.
Like, unless you're Slayer, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's fucking Slayer. It's fucking amazing.
They're allowed to do that.
Yeah, they're
so
allowed to
I
fucking
hear-
do that, you know?
yeah.
But it's that. It's like a snapshot of what we're doing there. So it kind of becomes themey.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
'Cause Natural Selection is going to be different from our next full length.
I gotcha. Although some may say, if a certain band wants to veer away from what they were doing from their previous album, they're like, they're doing something different. It's like you can't please everyone, So you just try to be true for yourself. Like for instance, look, I really enjoy like the old school Opeth. I think the last Opeth album that I really dig was Watershed. They had the Lotus Eater on there because I like the balance of the clean vocals and the death metal vocals. And then the last few albums, they were fine and all, but they just weren't in my wheelhouse. It was more like progressive rock. But, they were still doing what they wanted to do, and they were still supremely talented at doing it. So that is difficult. Where are all you guys from? Do you guys live close together, or?
Yeah, now we do. I know Chris, you're from the Bronx. He's from the Bronx, but we're all pretty much based now in the same area of Queens, which is
Okay.
good. Like we could get to rehearsal spots. pretty
Yeah,
easily
right.
and
Because
stuff.
that's how it ties into the last part we were just talking about. Because it's easier for you guys to get together. It's tough. Like, for instance, all right. So I was singing with the band Dracaris. We're still putting out some music, but our guitarists moved to the West Coast. It's hard to, we're just going to put out 2 or 3 songs and just play them on the radio and stuff like that. I miss playing out, but I mean, so would you guys get together? How often do you think? Maybe a couple times a month, or?
Oh, we do at least once a week.
Once a week.
And then, I mean, I live with Matt.
Oh.
And so, we
that's awesome.
and then, I know, like Chris and Tasso.
We're in Queens, so we could stalk you.
Me and Matt are Astoria.
Astoria, yeah, it's a great area. Yeah, you need roommates there. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are all in Astoria.
Yeah,
Excellent. Now, do you rent out a space, or well, obviously you rent a space. Do you have a monthly rental?
Yep. Yeah. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
gonna pass this down to this gentleman here.
Yeah, that's 25 studios. It's kind of like a creative space for a lot of metal-based.
I got you.
Art,
Yeah,
we
like
have
a creative space. Gotcha.
Our boy Paco, who's a
Yeah.
photographer, videographer. We have Gil, who did
Right.
production for Fathers.
Oh, okay.
On this record, we partnered up with them.
Right. Yeah.
And we just have a creative space. His band is out there. Final Siege is out there.
Yeah.
Tagging, he rehearses out there. They're actually in the
Oh,
process
shit,
of recording
okay.
an album themselves, which
Nice.
is going to be a very good album. And I've heard some of it is going to be great. But yeah, it's kind of like everybody within our scene, or
Yeah.
at least our immediate friend groups,
Right.
we all are supporting each other with like 25 studios. That's
Nice, man. So at least the cost isn't astronomical, maybe?
No, it's not. Surprisingly.
Nice. Obviously, you bring in your own equipment and you can leave
Yeah.
it there. Do you share maybe equipment with some other bands
We do.
sometimes to help out? That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's fucking awesome. That's
So
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So it's kind of like one of those spaces that is just like we so lucked out because
Yeah.
our other producer David Melendez had the studio before.
Right,
That's
right.
where they recorded Natural Selection.
Natural Selections,
And
right.
so yeah, that was David's studio first, and he was like, "Hey, we kind of convinced him.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
Hey, convince your landlord to let us take the space for the same price."
That's
and
awesome.
He actually agreed and was like, so we got 4 bands together, and we're all
Is
there
it like
now.
an industrial area or
It's a,
very industrial, right?
It's
Yeah.
out. Yeah, it's out at NYC.
It's crazy, man, because I'm probably a little bit older than you guys. In the 90s, like New York City really started, people that are older than me be like, we still had cool spaces and stuff. But towards the 90s, like Greenpoint and Williamsburg, they started, and I live in Jersey City, where I live, me and my fiance, we purchased the place in 2007. Now it's just like, it'd be tough to move into there now and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm not sure, I can't speak about the 80s or 70s or even the 90s. I was still I was a late teenager in the 90s and stuff like that. I know, don't be laughing, people that know. I was still technically a teenager in the 90s, I was. But the 20s, I was in my 20s, and you could see, there were more, spaces for music, and then industrial areas were opening up. And I think that's really cool that you guys are able to be a part of that right now.
Yeah, definitely. The city's always changing.
Yeah.
I mean, even in just the
For better or
last
for
5 or
worse.
10 years,
Yeah, right.
you see a difference. But no, the studio, the best part about the studio is that since, as well, I'm not an owner, but as him, who's one of the part owners of it,
Yeah.
the most convenient thing is we're not set to a time limit.
Right.
Most studios
that's-
you rent for
you're
2
right.
hours.
If you're in the
Yeah.
middle of a brainstorm or something
sometimes
like
we
you're
go
fucked.
there, we'll book, or we'll put in the calendar 8 to 11.
8 to
We'll
11.
be there till 1 in the morning.
1 in the
sometimes.
morning. Yeah, that's
Like,
pretty
just
cool,
writing
too.
stuff. So
And that's
that
kinda-
level of freedom helps a lot.
Yeah, and it's nice. You guys are all friends. It seems like you all get
Oh, yeah,
along.
definitely, yeah.
So that's really nice too. There's no tension, so it can almost be like a hang.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because sometimes practicing every week, since you guys all live close to each other, it's not a hassle. You're not driving an hour and a half or something like that.
Exactly.
So it's you guys have it nice, man. I envy you. You guys could probably go. I mean, who knows what happens, how something takes off and what doesn't take off. But at the very least, man, you guys have a nice foundation of friendship and proximity to each other and an excellent place to play. So that's really cool, man.
Definitely helps out the creative. It definitely helps out
Yeah.
the creative process a little bit. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
You
right.
don't have to worry about I got to take a 2-hour ride to the studio space.
No, I hear you, man.
It's very convenient, and it's less stressful.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day.
Because, for instance, I'll use myself example again. Richard Karras, our drummer, he's also the sound engineer. He had this, was from Upper Westchester or Putnam County, and now he lives up near Beacon. and it's just difficult, man. You know, driving like once a week. 70 miles, like 140 miles round trip. You know what I'm saying? So it's. I envy you guys, man. I hope you guys keep it going.
Hey, man.
No reason why not to.
Yeah. It's a really good time to be in this band, man.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Like, I think everything's aligning when it comes to our creative force, I guess.
Sure.
It's like, it's really hitting hard.
How
like,
far down, where in the Bronx do you live, you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I don't live there now, but I used to live out in the boondocks of Kingsbridge.
Oh, so you're up there. But so you're living in Astoria now as well?
Oh, Sunnyside, yeah.
Oh,
not too far,
Sunnyside, so
yeah.
it's right there.
It's right there, yeah.
Stone's throw away. So how do you get to practice? You take the bus.
picks
Oh, you got wheels?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Picks me up, man.
That's awesome. Well, there you go. You can't beat that and stuff. And since you guys live in Astoria, you could probably either walk there or is it off the R train or the N or something?
He drives, yeah.
Oh, you drive as well? Okay, great. So there you go. Bam. So all right. So what do we got coming up for Viserion? I know you guys got a show. I got it listed on NYC Metal Scene.
Yeah, so we're actually playing the Death of Summerfest in Baltimore.
Oh, you are playing that? Okay.
Yeah, we're playing that. We're on Friday, but it's a great lineup.
Yeah.
Our friends at Tombstoner and
Tombstone, yeah, of course.
Cranial Damage.
Cranial
and,
Damage, yep.
Frestigore are all playing it.
Yep, I've filmed all of them and worked with all them.
So,
excellent guys, man.
We're excited about that.
Yeah, that's
then
really
we
cool.
have the Solemn Vision show on August 26th. With,
Yes,
that's
the
a
one
great
I got.
lineup.
Yep,
with,
absolutely. That's
Finn
gonna be
Moore's
cool.
getting back together.
Where's that? That's at Lucky's, right?
That one's at the Meadows.
The Meadows. That's right.
That's
That's
the
right. That's
Meadows.
an excellent place to play, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll talk later and stuff because that's a great place to be filmed. The soundboard, the guy up there is really cool. I run this. Yeah, it's a nice. I filmed Blood Feast and Shaka there. Also did Possessed. You were there and stuff, right? Really cool place. You're gonna love being up on that stage.
Yeah,
right? Make
yeah,
sure
we're
you have
excited.
a JPEG or something for your image for the
for the
right.
background. Right?
That's great too. That's for like technology, but at least you're not up there hanging a banner and stuff like that. You're like, here, give them a flash drive, they just pop it up there, and they keep the back of the wall all black, and bam, there's your logo is going to be right up there.
Yeah, I'm afraid of heights, so I don't want to be climbing up.
Right, I hear. Okay, so that's going to be great, man. And so there you go. We got 2 killer shows coming up. So
yep, and then we just keep writing.
Keep writing.
And hopefully get some stuff out maybe next year or something.
Right,
you
and
know?
keep having fun and just enjoying it, man. All
Thank
right,
you.
man. I think we got it covered. Anything else you guys want to wrap up with?
That's it. Anyone else got anything to say? No.
Solve any world political,
Hang
economical
on.
problems?
Chris wants to say something.
Right, of course. Everywhere. Where can we
I
find
just
you
want to
guys?
thank a couple of people.
Please.
I want to thank Duff for hosting
Yes.
this interview and the party tonight.
Yes.
Thanks to Jimmy.
Yep.
Our brothers in Teluk Woven.
Teluk
you know,
Woven, yep.
And everybody who supported us throughout this process.
Right.
Man. It's been a killer experience, and
Yeah.
it's been really, really fun so far, man.
Right. All right, man. There you go, man. So I'm Matthew Shablevitz. I'm here with Viserion. This is also known as DJ Zab. This is the NYC Metal Scene Show on Metal Messiah Radio. And hey, man, check us out 24 hours a day and check out Viserion. Where can we find you guys?
Instagram, Facebook, we have Spotify, Bandcamp.
OnlyFans.
I don't know about that one.
OnlyFans. and that's Viserion.
Yep, that's correct.
Viserion, because I'm
Viserion,
an
yeah.
atrocious speller.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm doing that mainly for myself.
A lot of people spell it wrong sometimes.
I hear you. I spell my own name wrong sometimes, so it's all good. All right, guys. DJ Zab, NYC Metal Scene Show. Matthew Shablevitz, NYC Metal Scene, Boston Metal Scene, Philly Metal Scene. Yeah! Right. Fucking A. That was cool, man. Fuck. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, there's no need to edit any of that shit, man. I'm gonna keep me fucking turning the